Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. The Division 2 Heroic Manhunt finale. It was this big. Here I am. This is near the end of the mission. If you've watched me play Manny National Zoo, this is normally where I pulse the crap out of everything right here. This is the zone right before it. I've been in this match. The total play time was 1 hour and 40 minutes. I died once in the beginning, was always calling for backup. Maybe I was doing this too early on a Sunday morning. Not enough people. I eventually get someone in the group. And I'm playing my ultra conservative way with the Vial Jammer. I've gotten through here so far. What I love about the Division, this is what's great about the Division. They use the same maps in different ways. And I really enjoy that because my expectation is one thing, but it's different. So I enjoy that about the Division 2. If you haven't picked up the Division 2, it's dirt cheap. Please get it. It has a lot of good gameplay. I do the Division 1 first for the story. Both great stories, both great games. Division 2 a little more polished on the gameplay, especially with the skills. So we've made it this far. We have a good group. And I'm going to probably talk about the Division 2 a little bit. I have not talked about the Division 2 in a long time. So they have some new builds you can make, some new gear that you can make. And one of the weapons is St. Elmo's Fire. I've started using that. And it is a really good weapon as far as the stability of it. It's great in that respect. And it has some status effects. You know, after you hit something 100 times, then you get a clip full of shocking ammo. The problem is, you know, and I don't know if you can do this. This comes from me not reading anything. But man, if I had 50 rounds of shock ammo, I'd like to switch it to rifle mode maybe. But I ended up just using it because I'm doing damage. I had a build on some other videos you might see me make here soon. I just run with that in a pure DPS mode, not a pure DPS mode. I have a build that is a build that is a lot of improvised gear, 3 pieces, the gloves, the knees, and the holster. I put a elite damage reduction, 12% in those, and the other 3 pieces, chest piece, always going to have unbreakable. And then I'm going to have a piece that is Creeping Death. And then I'm going to have... what I do now is I put a vial in there. So I get best of both worlds. But sometimes I don't. And the 2 pieces, the chest and the... This guy picks me up on a heroic. Thank you. The thing that I try to do in this build is I make it a healing build. So it has high repairability. So all the pieces are rolled with repairability. So any type of repair I get is through the roof. Any type of repair I give is through the roof. So I have like an RK and whatever the other healing spot is. So those are, it makes that build great for legendaries if you still want to do some damage and you don't want to die. You're still going to die in the legendary if you don't play right, but you have a lot of healing that you get out of some dicey situations, and you have enough DPS that someone comes around the corner, you can win that fight with the heals on you. You always have a drone, healing drone up. And originally when I did that, I had a different mask, but I had those BTSD gloves, so then I'd have a, man, I healed through the roof on that. That was great. And all that was a genesis of, I used to have a yellow build that was unkillable in the new legendaries, Tidal Basin and Manny National Zoo, where I was a yellow build, but with high elite damage reduction, good healing. And I eventually was playing in Tidal Basin, and I just would never die. Like, my group kept going down, I kept picking up. We eventually cleared it out. We played it all wrong. I didn't know how to play it, but I just had this unkillable build. I modified that since then. In the middle of that actual run, I put in a vial jammer mask. I think somehow I did that, YouTube, or maybe we died, maybe we did it again, or maybe it was the next time I did it. And then I could have AoE damage as well as this unkillability. Wasn't quite as good because I didn't have the gloves, but it was really still really good. So I started toying with this idea of having high repair skills with an all red build with high yellow elite damage. So really the only thing I'm really scared of are purples. Reds, I can put them down fast enough. Purples are kind of in between, they can damage me. So you can see we're doing this. I have PTSD of the Division 2 YouTube because I'm always thinking it's like the legendary, but it's not. So I should be, sorry about that, wiping my nose. Gross, YouTube, sorry. This is Ronan Kazi. This is normally when I ask you to like, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Do the comments when they work. Please check the notifications if you'd like to have a notification when I put out my content. Working towards getting monetized so I can buy laptops that I can give to people after I do reviews on them. It makes no sense for me to do reviews if I'm not going to use the laptop. I'm not a big enough channel yet to get someone. Maybe I should try to write someone. Maybe I should try to write someone and get some of the stuff for review. That might be great. That would that would short circuit the whole thing. Hey, I'm brainstorming right now. Look at that, YouTube. We did it together. I couldn't give you the Roxy. I couldn't give you the laptops though, and one of the things that I want to do is give you the laptops. But before all that happens, I got to make it so that you can obviously see the reviews and get the idea where I'm coming from. I've migrated from probably, let's say 2017, 2018. I had a desktop, an AMD processor. I didn't overclock or anything, but it was like an 816 and I put 32 gigs of RAM in it and it could run everything and I was happy with it. And I had a standalone video card. This is where I'm going to mess up right here because I'm not in a good spot. I can pulse it, but I just don't put the pulse down fast enough. I can pulse reds down pretty fast, but yellows I might need a couple more pulses, and I'm in between. There's two dogs here. They're kind of like the mini and down goes Frazier. So this guy's been great with me. You saw he picked me up before, or maybe you didn't see that. Maybe that was indifferent. I think he picked me up before, and we're going to both go down. And he's fantastic. I appreciate him. It was great. Thanks, YouTube. This is normally when I like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe, comment when it works, hit the notifications. All right, so we're both going to go down. So F if I'm going to do that again. So I'm only doing heroic. So I put on my tank build and now it's done. So we can talk, YouTube. Let's talk. So that was the genesis for kind of these unkillable builds. And then put like the trifecta, right? I have a red, so I get whatever, 5 pieces of red at 15%, 75% damage increase. So the weapons are a lot more effective. You got yellow repair, which is high as like a secondary attribute. And then the other attribute is a blue armor regen. And then finally I have unbreakable if I really mess up, and I have creeping death. And at this point now, I used to have the chest piece, Barrett's chest piece, or whatever the guy's General Sal's chicken breastplate that gave you bleeding damage, gave you health. I got rid of that. Could never see the benefit of that. I mean, I would do it, but I could never see the heal, and just went with vial jammer so I can vial jammer. Because when you're playing yellows, you usually are playing the one heroic. Could be facing anything, but the blue black tusk, I like having the vial jammer. So that's kind of the impetus of some of those builds. What was great about this whole Manhunt thing, it was a little bit different feel of it. It was more piecemeal, like you were going 2 something. They wouldn't give you all the stuff at once, so you go, oh, I'll go here and here. You just kind of got stuck. It was frustrating at first, but I ended up liking it. This took a shit ton of time. Sorry, YouTube, for cussing. I'm probably gonna get my comments shut off for that. But it is a good match. This was really challenging. It was really good. This is kind of a higher end heroic content. I thought it was good. I think you'll enjoy it. Still bummed out that sometimes the Division has those wonkiness where you get those disconnects and all those other things. So at this point, now what are we going to talk about, YouTube? Let's talk about more Division 2. I think the closed beta ended, so I will double check that. I got an email from them, but I was in that new Division 2 game. I'm just going to tell you, not my cup of tea. I'm going to tell you what my cup of tea in a game is. A game that I can design my own character how I want to look. Even if I put a mask on it, I know what I look like underside. Number 2, I'm not a big fan of where I have a team. It's like Baldur's Gate, but okay, I'll do Baldur's Gate in Division 2 world. But again, I want to design all those characters. That's one thing about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, is it kind of has that same dynamic. The thing I like about that is they're with me and I can have them kill stuff. The thing about the new Division thing, I love being in the town. Why don't you let me be in the town? But I'll talk more about that later. What else in the Division 2 world? It's pretty grindy at this point. I appreciate that keeps changing a little bit. There's Caesar in the background. Hey, Caesar boy, how you doing? Say hi to everyone on YouTube. Caesar! And Roxy's over there as well. Excuse me, YouTube. Still a viable game, but again, it's long in the tooth. Not for the graphics. The graphics are still okay. But it's just the content's kind of dead. And so I play a lot of games on the channel that have that. Remnant 2 is not necessarily like that. But I'm going to start trying to get more builds in that. But I have a lot of content for Division 2. So maybe this week, Labor Day week, YouTube in the United States, for those that are in the United States. For the rest of my world viewers, thank you very much, all 3 of you. Appreciate you. Just joking, I don't know how many there are. It might not be that many. That'd be 1%. I'd be happy with 1%. Anyways, I ran Roosevelt Island a myriad of times. I might have a video where I do split screen of all 4, maybe the final boss, so you can kind of see different kind of methods. Each one was different. I had slightly different builds. That's kind of interesting. For the real estate's kind of hard. I like zooming the content. Maybe Caesar, I will. Caesar, say hello to Squirt Bottle. Squirt Bottle, say hello to Caesar. No look Squirt Bottle. And got him. Thank you, YouTube. Caesar, don't do that, Caesar. So that's kind of some of the content coming up. I also did some more heroic. I had a nice heroic run at control points. Those are always interesting. The heroics are just crazy easy on that part. This was a little bit hard. And I did another mission. It was heroic. It was kind of hard. So that's what's kind of coming on the Division 2 front. Are they going to have a Division 3? I don't know. I don't ask. If we have a Division 3, it's like, what, years out? They got to go a couple years. What's interesting, though, if you think about Diablo 4 and Diablo Immortal, oh my God, YouTube, where's my light? YouTube, where's my... There it is. If you think about Diablo 3, Diablo Immortal, Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal came out, and not too much long after, they had the next full-fledged Diablo. So if they did that with this Division 2, or this Division Usurper Pretender, I would do that. This guy never comes down. We end up killing him. This guy is a flamethrower. Thank you, guy that ran with me all the time. I appreciate you quite a bit. Thanks for all the reses and good gameplay. As you know, YouTube, these things are a prop, but I look good. Look at me all swaggy in my jumpsuit. What? Look at me. What? I know when you see an old person do that, it's embarrassing. You can imagine how my kids or wife, Mrs. Ronan Kazi, feels. But YouTube, thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. Stuck on 350. I was stuck on 330. We got up to 350, stuck on 350. Appreciate you helping me get up over the hump. And thumbnail incoming. This is Ronan Kazi. See you soon.